How's it hanging, Rasmanites? Today is November 13th, 2013. That means it's my birthday. And this is the first birthday package I'm going to open because I've actually had to look at this thing since November the 6th. That's right, this was a pre-ordered November 5th release that arrived on November the 6th via Amazon Prime. And who's it from? It's from Mark Flores. Now, for those of you that don't recognize that name, he is my boss man from Handi Enterprises Inc. So let's check out what he said today on the Rasman's Reality. Alright, I am so stoked about this. This has been killing me not knowing what this is. In particular because of some stuff that also happened behind the scenes, but I'm not going to get into that in the video because this may be a long video as it is. You can see that the box was opened, and what my family member did who helped me open it was the typical thing. They opened the box. They opened everything in the box so that I have easy access to it, but I have not seen it. So I was told there's an Amazon gift note inside, and of course the fridge starts running a little bit hard. It's not as bad here with where the Yeti's positioned as opposed to the fridge, but I do apologize. Anyway, I was told that there was an Amazon gift note in here, so I'm going to very easily try and reach in, or very carefully rather, try to reach in here without spoiling myself as to what the actual item is so I can read the gift note. There we go. Pulled it off. It says, a gift from Mark Kenneth Flores. Oh, Kenneth is your middle name, man. I wonder why I never knew that. Enjoy your gift. Happy birthday, buddy. Exclamation point. Please enjoy your gift, period. You deserve it, boss man, period. And why did I read it that way? That is a joke that I know that the boss man will appreciate because of us having to use Dragon Naturally Speaking all the time, and that's literally the way you have to talk when you dictate. You have to tell it punctuation. So that's from me to you, and as my first little thank you for your awesomeness here, because you are a great friend and a great individual to work for, and I'm blown away that you would send me a gift because it's enough that you pay me to be your partner in the company. So, alright, enough already. Let's get the anticipation done and check out what this is. And the fact that it's a November 5th release has me really jazzed, because anybody that follows media knows that November 5th was the single biggest release date so far this year. Oh my gosh. Holy Moses. Oh wow. Oh, I'm speechless right now. I can't even tell you how happy that I am right now. One of few shows that I easily, without a shred of a doubt, consider my favorite show of all time. Well, actually one of 3 shows, because I forgot about Star Trek The Next Generation. But from the 90s era, easily my favorite show, not named Sabrina the Teenage Witch. And when people ask me what my favorite show of all time, I say Sabrina the Teenage Witch, Star Trek The Next Generation, and this show. So what am I talking about, and what am I so jazzed out about it. And you may have figured it out if you know your November 5th release date items, if this is going to be a television show. But we have the most amazing coming of age show I think that was ever made in television history. And not only do we have it, but we have the complete series of it. And I'll explain why that's so paramount as we go through the overview. And this is always the part that's difficult for us in wheelchairs, you know, getting it actually out of the box and lifting it. But here we go. Sorry about that, I didn't know it came out backwards. But there it is. Boy Meets World. The complete series, or in this case, what it says on the box, which I never really understood why they did this with some series, but the complete collection. This is absolutely mind-blowingly amazing, considering that this retails for $100. And I believe when it was about to come out, it got dropped to $76. But that is still a huge chunk of change, and when you put something like that on your wish list, it really is just a wish. It's a pipe dream, because you never think that somebody's going to think enough of you to spend that much money. So I'm really just absolutely blown away by it. So let me get this box out of the way so that I can talk to you about my memories of this show, and we can run through the complete overview. Alrighty, hopefully there was no angle change there. It's always difficult with the size of this new room to try and figure out if I'm in the exact same spot if I have to make a cut. But anyway, you can see that the complete collection here comes in a beautiful box that is Mr. Feeney's chalkboard. And it says Boy Meets World, the complete collection. And if you look real close on there, you can see, and I know this from having seen the artwork and pictures, you can see CNT for Corey and Topanga with a heart. You can see Feeney with like a really ugly looking drawing that was probably drawn by Sean, Corey, or Eric. So it's just a really beautiful choice for artwork. And then if we flip it over, and I'm looking at it, you can see those, oh, and there's also a schoolhouse, like one of the kids, and thankfully the fridge just stopped running hard there. Sorry, it distracted me. But anyway, you also have a shot, because it's on the top here too, where I can see it. One of the kids drew school and do like a little mini schoolhouse, and then there's lightning, and 3 plus divided by something equals question mark. So it's just Mr. Feeney's chalkboard is the idea. It's brilliant design. But as you can see on the back, it has Corey and Topanga, the main couple. I think that's all. Hold on, let me check. I haven't actually seen the back yet. Oh yeah, we have Corey and Topanga from younger. And then we have Sean, Topanga, Corey, and Eric. And then we have Corey and Mr. Feeney from one of my favorite shots in the history of the show, where they're riding a roller coaster together. And it is on notebook paper, and it just gives you a show overview, which now that you've taken a look at it, I will go ahead and read it. Your favorite teens are back. Corey, Ben Savage, is your average guy. He has a best friend named Sean, Ryder Strong, from the other side of the tracks, a teacher that constantly keeps him on his toes, and a friend named Topanga, Daniel Fisher, whom he has trouble understanding. With the support of all his parents and his brother Eric Wolfredell, Corey learns to cope with the roller coaster called growing up. Join Corey and the gang as they weather the ups and downs of junior high, high school, college, and the scary transition into adulthood. All new special features: Boy Meets World, Back to the Beginning featurette, and Boy Meets World Fandom featurette. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is what is so important about having this version of Boy Meets World over any other version, which would of course be having the seasons individually. There's an extra disc in here that wasn't in any of the season releases, which contains those two featurettes. And for those that don't really know their television history, that is an amazing thing for a show that is this old, that was filmed in the 90s, to actually have the cast reunite and go back together and perform all new bonus features for a release like this is absolutely amazing. The only other thing we've seen like that in recent memory has been the Blu-ray releases of Star Trek The Next Generation. Now, real quick before we get into the rest of the overview, since I mentioned Blu-ray, some of you might want to know, well, why did I want the DVD complete series? Wouldn't it be worth waiting for the show to come out on Blu-ray? This was your typical 90s television show. And what happened with a typical 90s series like it was back then is that it was shot and mastered and edited on standard def videotape. So cleaning it up and putting it on DVD is as good as it's ever going to look because it was not shot on film, which is very unfortunate for such a wonderful show like this, but it is the way that it is. And it doesn't take away from Boy Meets World because of the amazingness of the show. So let's take a look now at what you'll see inside, or what you do get inside the complete series box. Yep, Rasmanites, I screwed up. And my overzealousness and excitement yesterday on my birthday when I got this set, I forgot to use logic. And what I mean by that is, one of the things you learn very, very quickly in your life is that you can't have too much on your tray and be handling too much physically, or it just creates a congestion that you can't overcome. And I apologize if Toby's getting picked up in the background there, but yeah, what was happening for me is because I tried to have all of the inbox content on my tray and stacked on top of each other, it just made impossible cuts. And when I was trying to get rid of the congestion, you actually lost information. So I just had to sacrifice and go up and upload this the day after my birthday on the 14th so that I could redo the inner content portion of the overview for you. So inside, the first thing you'll find is seasons 1 and 2. So here's your front. And back. And for special features you have audio commentary with cast and crew, a bonus episode from season 4, and picture-in-picture video commentary with cast and crew. That's amazing to me, that last one, the picture-in-picture commentary. I've never seen that done on DVD, so I'm curious as to how they pulled it off. Inside, covering up the first disc, you'll find this, your Boy Meets World The Complete Collection episode index. You have seasons 1 through 3 on the front here. And then seasons 5 through 7 on the back. Then you have season 1, disc 1, Mr. Corey Matthews, and season 1, disc 2, Sean. Season 1, disc 3, Topanga, and season 2, disc 1, Corey. Season 2, Disc 2, Sean, and Season 2, Disc 3, Topanga. And one of the things I wanted to point out before moving on to Seasons 3 and 4 and showing you those is I'm a big fan of the overall packaging of this complete series. A lot of times persons with disabilities have to shy away from complete series because of the weight and heft of the unit and how it's presented. But as you've seen, it's just a simple, beautiful cardboard box and really nice DVDs with everything separated by its own tray with no scratching. So I'm a really big fan of the overall packaging here. Nice job, ABC Studios. Sorry for any angle change as we go through these. I will do my very best to be uniformed as I go for each step. But here we have Seasons 3 and 4. So there's the front. And there's the back. And your bonus features for this set include The World According to the Boy pop quiz. And then of course inside we have Season 3 Disc 1 Corey and Season 3 Disc 2 Sean. Then you have Season 3 Disc 3 Topanga and Season 4 Disc 1 Corey. And you can see that this is my only little very minor quibble with this set. They stopped doing episode by episode breakdown on the disc art, and I would have preferred them to stay uniform, but again, that's being me being very nitpicky and anal like I am. And because Season 4 is really where Corey and Topanga's relationship really took off, from this point on you have Topanga on Disc 2 and Sean on Disc 3, which I think was a really subtle thing to remind the audience or to let a first-time audience know that, hey, maybe Corey's going to have a more important relationship here than Sean. So I really like that decision making. Here we have Seasons 5 and 6. So there's your front. And back, you can see that it's the only set in the collection that is bare bones. It's a shame that they weren't able to find anything to do special feature wise for Seasons 5 and 6. It would have been nice to have special features for every season, but they have of course gone back as you saw earlier and given us all new featurettes for the complete series, so not really complaining. So as I'm looking down here at Season 5 Disc 1 Corey and Season 5 Disc 2 Topanga, I should clarify something I said earlier, which is they stopped doing the episode by episode breakdown. They do still tell you the number of episodes per disc and where each disc ends. They just stopped saying the titles of the episodes, and I can't remember if I clarified that earlier, so there's that. Season 5 Disc 3 Sean and Season 6 Disc 1 Corey. Season 6 Disc 2 Topanga and Season 3 Disc 3 Sean. And finally we have Season 7. As you can see, Corey and Topanga do get married. A wonderful way to wrap up the series, but still so emotional anytime you see a series wrapped up. But there's your front. And a nice back which shows the growth of the characters throughout the series with iconic shots throughout. And your special features are, of course, the exclusive bonus features that were mentioned earlier, which are, once again, Boy Meets World Back to the Beginning featurette, and Boy Meets World World Fandom featurette. And in here, of course, we have Season 7, Disc 1, Corey. Season 7, Disc 2, Topanga in her beautiful wedding dress. Corey, of course, in his tuxedo back on Disc 1. And Disc 3 of Season 7, Sean in his tuxedo as well. And then finally, last but most assuredly not least, exclusive to the complete collection, your bonus featurette disc. And now, back to yesterday to wrap it up. There's apologies, the complete series episode guide fell to the floor as I was putting it back in the box, and hopefully the box itself is in the middle of the camera. The camera has actually been black for quite some time now, but I didn't want to piece this together in a million different forms of raw footage, so I hope that I was looking straight as much as possible. I am very, very conscious of that when I'm doing a big important video like this, to try not to have my head go off to the side, but it's very, very difficult with CPE when you're focusing on holding things rather than where your body is. But now that you know what it is, and now that I know what it is, more importantly, I have a very exciting announcement to make at the end of this episode. And that is that this is going to be the year of Boy Meets World on the Razman's Reality. Because rather than me just talk about my memories overall, which I will do before I sign off, I'm going to binge rewatch this show and re-experience it properly on DVD in the way that every true fan of any show dreams. Watch all the material, but then go back and rewatch it a second time this way. And at that point, I will be bringing you episode by episode breakdowns of Boy Meets World. And when the premiere of Boy Meets Girl happens, which for those of you that don't know, Boy Meets Girl is a show that was greenlit by the Disney Channel, as Disney now owns ABC, who originally aired, of course, the original show Boy Meets World. You saw it on all the DVDs there, ABC Studios. So because of the popularity originally when it aired, as well as more importantly the popularity that the show gained in syndication with a whole new generation and the DVDs as well, they are going to produce an actual true sequel show called Boy Meets Girl, where Daniel Fisher and Ben Savage return as Corey and Topanga. Corey is the new Mr. Feeney of the show. He will be the student's teacher, and the show will revolve around Corey and Topanga's daughter. So it should be a very, very exciting program. A lot of the main cast has been confirmed to at least in one point during the show's run of the first season make cameos, including Mr. Feeney and Eric. The only one that hasn't been confirmed at the time of this recording is Sean Ryder Strong. So I'm very, 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 very excited about that. And the reason that Boy Meets World means so much to me is because I was the age of these actors. Daniel Fisher is exactly my age that I am today. So if you want to know how old I am and you don't know, fire up Google right now. But yeah, Daniel Fisher is exactly my age. And the reason that this show means so much to me is I literally felt like I was watching these individuals grow up with me. And everything they were going through, I went through. And this was literally my Wonder Years. People want to point back to Wonder Years as the greatest family show of all time. And it may be. But to me, this was the best family show of all time. And it's ironic that the comparison between Boy Meets World and Wonder Years is always made, because the Wonder Years starred Ben's brother Fred. And Ben's brother Fred came full circle and actually made a cameo guest star appearance in a season 7 episode as a teacher in the Pembroke University College that all the characters attended. And I'm not going to say any more than that because it's an extremely powerful episode. For anyone that's never seen it, they need to experience it for the first time. But I'm just so overwhelmed and overjoyed to see this show again properly. It's in syndication still, but it's on ABC Family here in the States, and it's just at a horrible time in the afternoon because I'm usually working and I'm just never able to actually catch the show. And I don't want to DVR a show I've already seen and take up space on my DVR. So I'm just so thrilled to finally experience this show again. And it means the world to me, and no pun intended, and also no pun intended, but Mark, your gift and your generosity means the world to me that you would send this show, and I can't thank you enough. You're like a brother more than a boss to me, and I appreciate everything you've done in my life, and you know what I mean by that, and it's not anyone else's business. But thank you so much for everything. And one thing I will say that I meant to mention earlier, another reason that this show has such great memories for me is that I have an aunt, Violet, who is like my second mother. And when this show used to be on TGIF, I would be at her house every Friday night, and this would be our ritual, watching TGIF together. And this, if she was doing other things during the rest of the block, this was the one show that we always watch every single episode together on as it aired, because of the fact that she knew how much it meant to me as a person. So I cannot wait to let her know that I have this show, and maybe I can convince her to come over every weekend when I do the second rewatch, and we can rewatch it together. This is reality. Oh, what am I doing? I'm talking about a gift from Mark, my boss, and I almost forgot to plug Handi Enterprises Inc. So yeah, if you're not following any of Handi's social media, please do so. All company contact information for my division and his division, the main assistive technology division, it's all there down below in the description box. And also, if you'd like to become a full YouTube partner through the Full Screen Entertainment Network, you'll find my full screen referral link there as well. So this is reality according to a very happy Razman, who is now going off to re-experience the world. And Razman style is not just a catchphrase, but a way of life.